Hey, Mark here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a perpetual social media content machine. So this was actually a request from one of the members of my community. If you've not heard about the community yet, check it out in the description. So here's the technical requirements for this automation. So Chris has a blog with evergreen content on it. So evergreen content is the kind of content that never changes, will always stay the same. So giving you an example, news is something that's very fresh, and news today will not be interesting next week. News from last week generally isn't interesting, so that's not evergreen content. Evergreen content will be something like how to cook a turkey. We're coming up to Christmas now, that's on my mind. How to cook a turkey. So that was the same last year, and it'll be the same next year. So that's evergreen content. So in effect, he can continue to post and promote this evergreen content infinitely, and therefore why not just create a perpetual social media content machine which just cycles through all of those blog posts, promoting them all, and then going back to the beginning and promoting them all again when you get to the end. So you've forever got content to go out on social media. Of course, you don't want to post about the same 2 or 3 articles all the time, but if you've got a big bank of articles, several hundreds that takes you a long time to get through, it's fine to go ahead and post them again in the future. So the requirements that he had was that he wanted to have a Google Sheet with a list of blog URLs. He wanted to be able to go and grab one of those URLs off the list in his automation, get the image from that blog and create a Facebook post with it. So in that Facebook post, he wanted to use the image from the blog, but then also have the caption be the title of the blog. Now the catch here is that if you create an image post on Facebook, you can't create a caption. The way you get a caption is if you put the link inside the Facebook post itself, and it'll automatically generate that thumbnail image of the article with the caption. But you can work around this by putting the title of the blog in the actual post itself. And he didn't want to have a link into the post because it's a common tactic with social media is that you put a link in the first comment. This just increases engagement and therefore reach with your social posts. So then he wanted to have the link to the article in the comments rather than in the post itself. He wanted to be able to cycle through all those blog posts, as I say, and then when you get to the end, start again from the beginning. And he wanted to have these posts scheduled at specific times in the week and times throughout the day as well. So that's something that we can also think about doing as part of our automation. I put optionally use ChatGPT to write the social media posts based on the blog article. Chris mentioned that he didn't, that's not something that he asked for, but I would definitely recommend having some sort of content in the social post rather than just the title of the blog and image and then pop open for the comments, because social platforms generally don't like you posting the same content over and over again. And if you just keep posting the cat title with an image and the link in the comments, it's going to be the same stuff. But if you get ChatGPT to write a post based on the contents of the article each time, it's going to be fresh new content every time you post. So that was the basic requirements. So the way that we've done this, I'll show you how it works, and then I'll take you through building it step by step. So the perpetual content machine has a spreadsheet here. So the spreadsheet has your list of content. So this is all of the content that you want to be cycled through on an ongoing basis. And then I have another tab here, which is the queue. So this is the stuff that's left on this current cycle of blog posts that you're working through. So the way that I've set it up is that once this queue gets low enough, so I've set it to, once it gets to basically to 2 or less, then just go ahead over to the content tab, grab all of the articles in there, and then add them to the bottom of the queue again. So that's one way of knowing that you've got through to the end. You could have done this in theory in one tab here and had some sort of numbering system to say that you'd gone through it in that cycle, or yes or no that you were in the current cycle. But there's multiple ways that you can skin this cat, and I just thought a queue would be quite useful because you can just literally go in there and see what's left in the queue. Also, it's very, very quick and easy. If you want to add something to the queue, you can go and add it in there manually. Or programmatically, you can go and add stuff into the queue as well. So I've done other videos where we create content and social media posts from blog articles. And part of that could be that when the article's published, that it automatically gets added to the queue here. Maybe you put it at the top of the queue, that's something you'd be able to do. Or you could just say add it to the general content list and it'll be picked up next time. So this could be something that's ongoing, and rather than being a manual process, things could be added to this all the time. You could even take it a step further and in WordPress, if that's your where you publish your posts, you can create a quick plugin using AI, of course, which just has a checkbox to say this is evergreen content. If it is evergreen content, the automation will pick that up and then add it to this spreadsheet so that it becomes part of this perpetual content machine. And this is the automation itself. So what I'll do is I'll run this through and then we'll build it step by step. So just to show you how it works, we've got the queue here. I'm going to run this through. I've removed the Facebook aspect because I don't want to keep posting on Facebook because I'll get punished from Facebook for doing that. But you can see that's now actually removed one of those articles from here. I didn't actually show that, so I'll do it again. But this time what will happen is, I think it's the right number, is it will say, okay, you're down to 2. I'm going to go over to this tab and I'm going to go and add everything else to the queue again. So if I run that again, if I go back over to here, we should see our top article get removed from the queue. There you go. And then it's gone over to the content tab here and it's re-adding all of the content from our content tab and adding it to the queue. And again, now this will continue to go down this queue until it gets to the bottom again. And when it gets to like less than 3, it will then go and add the content again here. So this is what we're going to build today. So let me take you through it step by step. If you're interested in this automation and grabbing hold of the unbelievable opportunity that exists today for AI automators, then I recommend you check out my school community, where you can download this blueprint and many more and be up and running in a matter of minutes. It's this simple. Navigate to the blueprint you want to download in the school community. Go over to make.com and select import blueprint and you're ready to go. In the school community, we also have automation learning materials and access to a full calendar of events, including masterclasses, Q&As, co-working sessions and live streams. When it comes to AI automation, if you want to up your game, then this community is for you. Head over to school.com/AI-automations to get started. Now back to the video. So let's get started. We're in Make here. We're going to create a new scenario. And I'm going to name this scenario Perpetual Content. School demo version. Okay, so we're going to go to Google Sheets first of all, and we're going to pull down the first item that's in the queue, effectively, that we're going to end up posting on social media. So we need to go and grab that. So we're going to go search rows. We're going to change our connection to this one. Let's select the spreadsheet. There it is, Perpetual Content. Sheet name is, so we're going to go for the queue here, and we just want to take one. We're really interested in grabbing one item from the queue, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, going to save that. Let's just check that works. Okay, great. So we pulled this item from the queue. So let's go back to our spreadsheet here. Let's take a look at the queue. And it's this one, 96 amid political shift. Bitcoin is 96 amid political shift. So that's the article there we pulled from the sheet. Next up, we want to be able to then go and search WordPress for this article, because we want to go and grab the image from the post itself and the contents of the article as well. So we're going to go and search WordPress. No, actually, so what we actually need to do is the way that we search WordPress is searching for the slug of the URL. So the slug, if I go show you in here, this part is effectively the slug of the article. So we need to search on this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and grab this entire URL and we're going to replace all of that bit with an empty string. So that leaves us with just that bit, but we want to get rid of this little slash at the end here as well. So we're just going to replace the slash again with an empty string, and that will leave us with this piece that we can search for it. That will allow us to search in WordPress for that article. So we're going to do tools, set variable, and here we're going to call this slug. So let me just grab the formula here, because it's a bit of a take a little while to type it out. But what we're saying here, I think we're going to have the same. Yeah, that's fine. So what we're saying here, as I said, is that we're going to take the this part of the URL and we're going to replace that with an empty string. And also we've got a nested replace here. We're going to replace the slash with an empty string. So that will give us just that part of the URL that we want. So let's go ahead and run that and just check that works too. Let's have a look here. The output is this, and that we can now use to go and search for our article in WordPress. So if I go to WordPress here, search posts, okay, the type is posts. We want to publish post, of course, and then do this show advanced settings here. And if we scroll down, right down to the bottom here, we can search on the slug. So I can go and grab that there and go OK. And that should find one article, because there'll only be one article with that slug in here. So the output, one bundle, and that's the entire part of the entire block there, all of the pieces that we need. So from there, we can go WordPress again, and we can get the media item. So getting media item will allow us to go and grab the image from the article. So we're going to grab the featured image. So get media item. And the media item is actually this piece here. So the featured media. So this is the media item ID. So everything actually within WordPress, so all posts, all pages, all pieces of media, all have their own unique ID. So this is the ID of the featured media of the image. So we can go and get that. And next, we're also going to go and grab the rest of the post. So now we can do get a post. Type posts, and the ID is the post ID. Here it is. Okay, so once we've got all that, we can then go ahead and create a post. We've got all of the bits of information we need. So let me just save that, and again just check that we're all good so far. So take here, look at the output. You can see there that we've got the URL of the image. That's what we need to be able to go ahead and download it and put it into our Facebook post. So that's good. And then getting the post, we've gone ahead and grabbed all of the details of the post out there. Thinking about it, I don't think we actually need this. We've already got the exact same information, I think, from the search post here. So I think we can do without this. So we'll try it without it. And if we need to add it back in, then we can. So in this section, I'm going to go and add ChatGPT because, like I said, I want to be able to write a unique social post every time I post on social media about this blog article. So we're going to go and ask ChatGPT to help us out here. So we're going to message an assistant. I've got a whole bunch of assistants here. You can go and grab all of these assistants and upload them into OpenAI in our school community. The link's in the description if you want to join. It's still cheap. We only just started the community, so get in whilst it doesn't cost very much. But okay, so here's my Facebook social media assistant. So the role is user, and we can say create me a Facebook post based on the following article. I don't need to provide any more prompting because all of the information is within the agent or the assistant itself. So it already has a ton of instructions of how to create a good Facebook post. So I can just literally give it a very short prompt here. So the contents of the article here. And what we're going to actually do is we're going to remove all of the HTML as well when we pass that in. So it's just passing in the textual part of the content. Otherwise it's quite a lot to send over to ChatGPT. So what we can do is we can do strip. Actually, let's just go over here. Strip HTML, and then we can go ahead and move that content within the brackets. There you get content. That's that. We can go OK, and now we can go to Facebook. So now we can go ahead and create our post. So we want to use this one, create a post with photos, because we're going to upload our photo here. So the page is Crypto Eagle, and the photos we can say download from URL, because we saw earlier we've got the URL now of the image itself. So it's this one, source URL. It says it has got a caption option here, but this caption option just doesn't show up on Facebook, so there's no point in putting anything in there. I guess it just may have been depreciated or something like that, but at the moment, if you put something in there, it doesn't actually show up on the page, unfortunately. The message, so I'm going to put the title of the article itself first, which is here, and then I'm going to put the output from ChatGPT, which is promoting it, and then I'm going to say link in the comments. Okay, and then I want to create a comment on that post. So go here, okay. Create a comment. It's on the Crypto Eagle page. The post ID, let's map that to here. So the post ID is going to be the one from the post that we just created. So put that in there. And the message will be the link to the article. So I can put, for example, read more, and then we can put the link, which is this one. And we click OK. Okay, so we've done that. We've created our social media post. I'm not going to test that just now. I'm going to assume that works because I don't want to be spamming Facebook with a whole load of posts. I'm just going to unlink this now. Just move it out of the way, and we'll add this in at the end. But we're going to assume that we've done this part. The next step is that we're going to want to go ahead and delete the row in the queue. So once we've posted something in the queue here, we want to like remove it so that it's no longer in the queue. So let's go ahead and delete that top row there. Go in here, go to Google Sheets, delete a row. We're going to choose the spreadsheet. Okay, it's perpetual content, and it's the queue, and the row number is the one we got right at the beginning when we went and fetched it. So it's row number 2. It'll always be row number 2 because that queue is always moving up, of course. So we could just put 2 in there, or probably safer just to put the actual field in here. Click OK. So once we've done that, we want to count how many items are left in the queue. So we just go to Google Sheets again and do search rows. So we'll go perpetual content again. Sheet name is the queue. And that's all we need. We can just go OK here. And that will return all of the rows. So I save that. Let's go and see how we're doing. So we can see, hopefully we'll see one get deleted here. This one that says market rally, so that's gone. So that's working. We're searching the row here and we can see that we've got 25 articles still in the queue. The next thing we'd want to do is go and add those rows back in if we were short. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Google Sheets here again, and we're going to go add a row, choose the sheet. There you go, perpetual content, sheet name, and then queue. So we're going to take all of the rows found here in the spreadsheet and add them to the queue. So what we're going to do in a minute is we're going to add a filter here to say only proceed if there's less than 2 items, or less than 3, so 2 or more. 2 or less items in the queue, but once we've done that, if there is less, then we want to go and add the content to the queue. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Google Sheets again. We're going to go and grab all of the content out of the content tab. Sheets content. This time, rather than just limit it to 1, we're going to want to go grab them all again, and then click OK. So now we can add our filter in. So we can call this filter queue count. The condition is the total number of bundles, and we go to it's a text operator. So we go less than. So if there's less than 3, so 2 or less, then we can proceed, and we're going to go and collect all of those URLs from the content tab and add them into our queue. So click OK. We've searched for all the items there. We just now need to go and add them to the queue. Before we do that, I will just show you this. Let's just run this through. So I need to actually get the queue count small enough here. So let's do that. Let's run that again. Okay, you can see here that we've run through all of those items. So now we need to go and add those rows from content to our queue. So go add a row. Choose a sheet, perpetual content, sheet name is queue, and in here we're going to go ahead and add the URLs. Just go OK. So that should be enough to go and add those items. So let's go and add another one back in here. So we've got 2. Let's run that sheet through. See, it's adding all those items there. There we go. So this is our queue. It's just gone ahead and added all of that stuff from there back into our queue. So that's effectively done now. So we can go ahead and like test this out on our Facebook page. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to detach here. I'm going to add this back up here, and that's in here. And we can test now like the full end-to-end, make sure that that works. So let me go ahead and run this. Let's search the post, it's got the image. So it's now asking ChatGPT to create some content or a social media post, which it has here, which looks pretty good. Now we go ahead and create the post, which is the image that we grabbed from the WordPress post, and then the content, and then we've added a comment, which is the link in the comments. We've gone ahead and deleted a row in the Google Sheet here. We've gone ahead and deleted that row in the queue so that we don't do it again. And then we go ahead and find out if there's less than 2 or less than 3 items in the queue. Then we go and add new items to the queue. What you can see now is that once I've added these bits in, this runs through twice. So actually what it's done is added the queue twice. You don't really want that to happen. I mean, it's not a big problem because it's fine, because it'll just go through the queue again and get to the bottom. But really, we only want it to add through once. We don't want to add it through twice. So there is a way that we can work around that. So there's something called the increment function. So if we want to do that before we add rows here, I'm going to add a module. What the increment function does, you get options to count. Every time you pass this part in this module in the automation, it'll start a counter. So do you want to start the counter? Do you want it to count forever? So you say never. So literally how many times it goes through. So no matter how many times you use this automation, it will continue counting, and that number will just get bigger and bigger. So that's great if you want to count how many times the automation has been used, for example. Or you can say after one cycle or after one scenario run. So if you're in a loop, one cycle will just count, and then when you're out of the loop, it'll start counting again. Or one scenario run, which is what we want, is it'll just keep counting once we're going through like the scenario. And then once we've exited out the scenario, next time we come in, the value count starts at 1 again. So what we can do here is we've added this little increment function in here. So what we can do is add another filter in here. And we can just check that this is the first run through. So we go first run, and then we say, okay, is the counter, we go to numeric, less than or equal to the total number of bundles. So that's saying, well, there's 24 bundles. If this counter goes through and it's more, so it's basically it's on its second run. So we've done 48 here, but we want to only stop at 24. So when it gets to 25, 26, 27, just don't add them. You just don't get through this filter anymore. And that just makes sure that we only add the content list to the queue once rather than twice. So we'll just test that, make sure that works. We've actually gone ahead and posted to Facebook, so let's just check that out as well. So there you go. This is the 3 minutes ago. This is the article that we created. Link in the comments. And if we go down to the comments here, open up the comments, we can see we've got read more, and then we've got the link to the article itself in the comments, which is exactly the functionality that we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure we've got some new content in the queue. Let's make sure we've got a brand new article in there. I don't want to be posting the same articles onto Facebook here. Let's just get a nice fresh one. So if you haven't watched any of the videos before, this is our Crypto Eagle News websites. This is our dummy website that we use for everything. So let's use this one, MicroStrategy. The image isn't great on that one, but let's go ahead. So I'm going to grab this URL here. I'm going to insert it in the queue. Okay, and I'm going to make the queue shorter because I want it to actually repopulate the sheet once it gets down to 3. So it'll delete 1, it'll say, oh, there's only 2 left, I need to go and repopulate the queue from the content. So let's run this through one last time, creating the post on Facebook with the photos. Then it goes and adds a comment to that post, delete the row in the spreadsheet. There you go. And now it's repopulating the spreadsheet with all of the articles from the content queue. And it's only done it 24 times. So there's 48 there, but it's stopped at 24, so it's only populated again, which is the number that is in the content queue here. So that's pretty much it. The last requirement that we haven't covered is that we want to be able to run this at certain times of the day. Now, luckily, you can do that quite easily within Make here. So what we can do is we can say at regular intervals, and then we can say, okay, we want to post it, say every, I don't know, every hour, and then times of the day. So you can say, okay, I want it from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Ooh. Oops. 5 p.m. So 5 p.m. And then I want it only Monday to Friday, not Saturday and Sunday. So you can set it like that. You can be quite granular. If you want to be more granular, then you can set up some more advanced scheduling yourself within the Make automation. And I've created an automation for this already, which is basically replicating how buffer works. So go and check that out. It's in the live videos section of the YouTube channel. So click OK. And now we can activate the scenario. And now this will run once every hour between the specified time period that we said. It will go and found an article, post it on social media or on Facebook specifically with the comment and delete it from the queue. And every time that queue gets drained, it gets empty, it'll go and repopulate. So any new articles you can go and add in here into the content. That'll get added to the queue next time the queue gets replenished. And that is our Perpetual content machine. So if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. And also consider joining our school community where you can download all of the Make blueprints that we've got here. But also there's a whole bunch of other training material, discussion forums, and AI news that we cover regularly within the community. So if you're interested in that, check out the link in the comments. Thanks once again for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.